Hey everybody, welcome, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Hidden Horror. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I'm here today because I want to bring you an update on what's been going on with the Oxford High School mass shooter, Ethan Crumbley. Now, if you can recall, in November of 2021, Ethan Crumbley committed a mass shooting at his high school, Oxford High School. There were 4 victims that were unalived, and there were others that were hurt. I want to go over the names of the victims and their ages. It was Madison Baldwin. She was 17 years old. In fact, let's pull up a picture of the victims. Let's take that time out to remember them. I want to share my screen now. So this was a picture of Madison. She was 17 years old. It's another picture of her. Next, we'll go to Tate Mirror. Okay. Tate was 16 years old. Let's see if we can get another picture of Tate up. Okay. Then we have Hannah St. Juliana. We'll get her picture up. Okay. Hannah was 14 years old. Let's look at another picture of her. She's so pretty. And then we have Justin Schilling. It's a really nice, I like that picture of Justin. Very nice picture. He was 17 years old. Now we did have some other victims that were injured, including a teacher. But these four students, they passed away. Okay, let's look at one more picture of Justin. Let me see. Okay, I like this one. Again. Well, this is fine. Well, I want to go to the other one, the one I actually liked. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's a nice picture of him. Nice smile. And I saw like a little tribute. Okay. This right here, this is nice. Make this a little larger, okay? This one looks a little bit. So I'll make this a little larger. Okay. So we'll always keep them at the forefront, right? So let's get started with the news regarding Ethan Crumbley. So we know in 2021, when Ethan Crumbley committed the mass shooting, he was 15 years old. Now he pled guilty to the counts and he was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Now we fast forward 4 years. In April, Ethan Crumbley turned 19 years old, and he put in an application to withdraw his guilty pleas, and the Michigan Court of Appeals turned that application down. So let's get to the article and talk about it all, okay? The article is from WTOL. Wait, WTOL.com. It's titled Michigan School Shooter Loses Appeal in Bid to Withdraw Guilty Plea in 4 Deaths. The article is dated May 6, 2025, and the writer is the Associated Press. Let's get started. A Michigan court said Tuesday it won't accept an appeal from a school shooter who was sentenced to life in prison in 2023 for killing 4 students and wounding others. The Court of Appeals turned down Ethan Crumbley's application for lack of merit in the grounds presented. Crumbley pleaded guilty to the 2021 Oxford High School shooting after he received a rare non-parole sentence. A new legal team asked a judge to set aside the life term and also allow Crumbley to withdraw the guilty plea. Oakland County Judge Kwame Rowe said no. He said Crumbley's plea was knowingly, voluntarily, and accurately given. Now, you guys know that there is a video of the mass shooting. So I agree. There is a video, okay? Well, let's continue. Crumbley, now 19, was 15 when he committed the mass shooting on November 30th, 2021. Earlier that day, his parents were summoned to discuss violent drawings and agonizing phrases written on a math assignment. They didn't take him home, and no one checked his backpack for a gun. Crumbley's appellate lawyers claim that his brain development was likely diminished by his mother's use of alcohol. Prosecutors, however, noted that fetal alcohol spectrum disorder was not raised by a psychologist who testified on Crumbley's behalf during the sentencing phase. His parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, are serving 10-year prison terms for involuntary manslaughter. They were accused of making a gun accessible at home and failing to foresee that the mass shooting was possible. So, you guys know, I'm going to bring up a picture of Ethan. Okay, it's an older picture of him. I did try to get a more recent picture of him. However, the court, the jail has not taken a more recent picture of him. The picture that they had of him was from 2023. It was an older picture, so it was no use to show it. So I'm just going to pull a stock picture of Mr. Crumbley, and when I talk about him, we would just see that. Okay. You know, the case of Ethan Crumbley, you know, it involves parents that are not as involved. It involved parents that did not listen to the needs of their son. It involved parents that kind of neglected him in ways when he asked for help, when he needed their support, and when they should have identified that he was in crisis. And moreover, knowing everything that he was going through, his emotional state, they should not have purchased him a gun. In Ethan's writings, he drew pictures. He wrote about his thoughts of wanting to harm others, to shoot, to kill, to torture animals, and to see people suffer. He wanted people to suffer as he had suffered in his daily life. Now that Mr. Crumbley, he's had this time, he's been incarcerated. As I warned you a few years ago when he was going through his criminal proceedings, he has nothing but time. He's going to appeal. He's going to change his heart to be free, to walk again, to come back into society. He does not want to be confined for the remainder of his life, which is many, many years. He's only 19 years old. I feel that we should take what has happened as a cautionary tale, that again, no one projects out, no one looks beyond their youth. They can't see it. They can't even imagine how much time this really is. And they're not understanding that the decisions that they make, they have consequences, but some of these consequences, none of these kids are coming back. They're gone. They're permanent decisions. And you don't know how long you're going to have to deal with those actions, your decisions. Sometimes it's a long time. You have to take accountability. And that's where, to me, the focus should be on prevention. Because Justin life, Tate life, Hannah, and who am I missing? I always miss one. I don't know why that is. Hannah, Justin, Tate, and I'm missing one of the babies. I always miss one. I don't know why I always miss one. This is gonna bug me. I tell you guys this every time this happens. Madison Baldwin. You know, I feel bad in a lot of ways because the victim's family, it is not just a search for justice. There really is no justice. You will have to go on. You have to find a way to live the next stage of life without your loved one. And sometimes I think we can take on a mission for prevention. I think it's important. I think this is what we can learn out of this. And we have to find ways to connect with each other if it's possible. You can't reach everybody. That would be amazing, but it's not possible. But the people that want to help, that are receptive to change, that's who you pour your resources into. And Ethan, he could turn it around. He could make a decision to say, you know what? I'm going to tell my life story to prevent someone else from making this poor decision. How about I get out there? I have a platform now to speak about the things that I was going through, that I needed help, that I needed help for my mental health. How getting that gun was not the answer. Doing the shooting was not the answer. Don't be like me. He could partner with organizations to reduce crime, to prevent crime, to get guns off the street, to talk to the youth, to look at other options, conflict resolution. You know, we have to do our best to learn from these tragedies, these mass shootings. And we all have to take responsibility and play a role in prevention in the change that we seek. It's not enough to say law enforcement, it's not enough to say schools, teachers, the administrations. It's everybody's responsibility to reach back, to reach out, to do what you can, as small as it may be, because you never know what someone else is going through, what their struggles are, what they're facing, the challenges they have. It's not easy, but with help, with positive influence, with love, with people that care, you can even raise your child to care about their peers, their friends. If they see bullying, intervene. If you see something going wrong, somebody saying something wrong, show correction. Stand up. Be a friend to someone that's struggling. Care for others. That doesn't cost anything, because you know what? These kids aren't coming home. Their parents, this could have been anyone's child, but it's their child. For no reason other than happen chance, just chance alone. It's not fair. But they are faced with a mission now, and we have to stand with them against this evil. We do. We have to speak up, and we have to say, you know what, Ethan Crumbley, those victims, including the ones that you didn't kill, they didn't deserve this. You should not be allowed to enter society when we still have victims struggling, trying to put their life back together, suffering through all kind of mental health issues from anxiety to stress to fear. Some of those kids from Oxford High School went on to Michigan State University where there was another mass shooting. So now these same students have been involved in two mass shootings before the age of 25 years old. I support these law enforcement, these prosecutors that are trying to put punishment in place for these mass shooters and their parents. But on our end, on the average person's end, we have to do more. We have to educate to reduce these number of mass shootings because we need prevention. It's unfair for our children, our youth to be in fear of being gunned down because they're going to school for socialization, but more importantly, their education. It's not right. They shouldn't have to be in fear. Teachers and administrators should not have to be in fear to be in a stressful environment. So please share this information. We need prevention. Thank you for spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate it. I want you to stay safe, stay smart, stay savvy. Be well, all my friends. Bye, everybody.